Many of us would do anything to live in the wizarding world, given how mystical and wondrous it all seems. But honestly, one of the biggest perks of being a wizard is just how dang useful it would be to have magic. While not all of us would be using Expelliarmus every day like Harry Potter seems to do so often.
Expelliarmus!
Like, really, it must be his only spell.
Expelliarmus!
Here are our picks for the most useful Harry Potter spells.
Turn this water into room.
First up is the Extendable Charm, otherwise known as the spell that makes Hermione's purse infinite. I mean, how often do you wish you had more pocket space? Especially if you wear women's clothes, which have no pockets. But seriously, being able to carry around a briefcase full of the world's cuddliest creatures like Newt did, or being able to have your apartment fit in a bag, would literally be our dreams made reality. Next up is the Scourge of Ice Spell. While having one of the most terrifying names, it actually is the cleaning spell, which, along with Turgio, are the perfect spring cleaning spells. Imagine being able to do all your dishes and mop the floors with a simple swish of your wand. Why do witches and wizards even get out of bed? Speaking of getting out of bed, our next spell is Accio. By saying Accio and then the name of whatever you want, that object will speed from where it is into your hand. The books even mention that Harry could summon an Aqualung from several miles away if he wanted to. Harry even uses the spell to defeat a freaking dragon. Not only will this help us find the keys when we lose them, imagine all the havoc you could wreak with this spell. Want to steal your neighbor's television? Accio Neighbor's TV. Want to have $1 million? Accio $1 million. Want to have actual respect for yourself? Well, sadly, this spell can't help in that department. But for everything else, Accio is an extremely powerful spell. Speaking of car keys, Alohomora, the unlocking spell, is incredibly useful. Imagine never needing to have a key ring again. Just pull out your wand and say, Alohomora. Speaking of which, why was Hagrid the keeper of the keys when keys are pretty much pointless in Harry Potter?
No more questions. Don't ask any more questions.
In fact, why aren't people breaking into homes all the time? Sure, some people must put up defensive spells, but burglary must be a huge problem in the wizarding world. But if you do happen to get into a fight with a burglar, you can use our next spell to heal up, Episky. Episky is able to heal any minor wound. Imagine how much easier life would be with this spell. No more healing or band-aids, just a quick wand flick. It would certainly change our entire system, with more and more people taking bigger risks, and risk minor injury, knowing they'd be just fine. Wizarding mountain climbing must be so much fun. But our final spell is the most powerful, the Unbreakable Vow. This spell forces whoever makes a vow to keep their promise, whatever promise that may be, or they die. In the books, Snape promises to help Draco kill Dumbledore, leading Snape to have to kill Dumbledore himself. But imagine all the silly mundane times people use this spell. Want to make sure your uncle shows up to your birthday? Make him use the Unbreakable Vow. Want to make sure your kid studies for that test? Well, just force him to do an Unbreakable Vow and you'll definitely have a straight A student. This isn't even to mention how many married couples must use the Unbreakable Vows during their wedding. We bet the divorce rate for wizards is much lower. Those are our picks for the most useful spells. We'd love to hear some of your favorites in the comments. But until then, it's time to turn out the lights. Nox.